I want to talk about ways to carry your camera. So we're going to work through a variety of straps, slings, bags that's kind of mirrored my evolution of how I've carried the camera over the last 10 years. Now, the first strap that I'm not going to talk about is that camera strap that comes in the box with your camera. I hate those for a couple of reasons. They advertise to everyone around you, including thieves, what model and brand camera you're carrying and how new it is. They have attachment points up here that always seem to get in the way when I bring the camera up to my eye. And you're either carrying it bouncing against your belly, which is uncomfortable but easy to bring up, or you've got it on your side and it's more comfortable to carry, but then it's more difficult to get up to your eye without feeling like you've been tangled. So the first strap that I am going to talk about, that I like and that I can recommend in some uses, is this Black Rapid strap. It really solves that issue in letting the camera slide along the strap. Now, I think almost everybody out there has seen one of these straps. They're extremely popular. And I used one for many years and it works well. I love that you can bring it up to your eye so easily. It's fairly comfortable. Its attachment point is at the bottom. So even though you've got a strap system here, it's very rarely in the way as you bring the camera up to your eye. And one thing that I found that is a little annoying with the Black Rapid straps is that they seem to move around on my shoulder some. Now, they do make a brad strap, they call it, that will help with that. I've used that and haven't really found it to be much more helpful. And there are some other variations that will do that. But one of the things that I've found over the years of shooting is that the fewer straps that I have up here with heavier gear, the happier I am. So for the most part, unless I'm carrying really lightweight gear around for short periods of time, I've gone away from straps at all in this area. One of the other straps that I really like is the Peak Designs SlideLIte. Now, in some ways, this might actually seem to be a step backwards because it is a more traditional style strap. But what I love about it is how easy it comes off from the little attachment points that they send you. So it's very easy to take off the camera and have it out of your way. They also send along an Arca Swiss style compatible plate at the bottom that can serve as one or both of the attachment points. And not only will it sit in your tripod if you have Arca Swiss style compatible, it'll sit in other Peak Design ecosystem products, which is nice. So if you're already in that world, this is a great strap to have. It's also really easy to adjust the length. Talking about the Peak Design ecosystem, the next product that I want to mention is their capture clip. This is also from Peak Design. And that Arca Swiss style compatible plate that the SlideLIte uses fits in here. And so this is a strapless way to carry your camera. This connection can be worn on a belt or a backpack strap. It's all very small, very lightweight, and that's pretty nifty. What's not so nifty is I have really struggled with using this with anything but the lightest cameras. On a belt, it feels like everything is sagging and is about to be pulled off of me. I have also struggled, and it was just days after I had my Sony camera. I was using this at a wedding. I went to put my camera in it, and honestly, this could be user error, but I thought it was going into here, and really, it was just going towards the ground. I released the camera continued towards the ground because gravity, and it was okay, but it was a huge bummer. So I'm not a big fan of this, but if you have a small lightweight camera and you're looking for a very small lightweight system to clip it in and out of without a strap, you might want to check this out. The next product I want to talk about is similar in some ways to the capture clip in that you have a capture device and a clip device. Now, what I really like about this that I think has some serious improvements over the capture clip is this is a funnel-shaped device that makes it much easier to get the clip in. And the clip itself is a small ball bearing that fits in there so very nicely. I've never had problems missing this. It always feels a little bit more secure to me. And I didn't mention this with the Peak Design, but I've actually had it jam on me at times. And I've never had this jam on me. I've always been able to get the camera back out easily as long as I unlock it with the switch. It comes on this belt. It's much more comfortable in my opinion, and it has this little bit of a padded holster style. This is, in my opinion, the best way I've found to carry heavier cameras for longer shooting and events. Now, the only downside about this is there's an acceptable nerdiness level when I'm carrying gear around, and for events or weddings where I'm being paid to shoot, that's quite high. I'm there, I need my gear to be accessible, I need to stay comfortable while I'm shooting, and something like this works fantastic. I don't typically wear this when I'm just walking around or travel photography because, well, it looks a little goofy. But I've got another product from them that solves that. All right, the SpiderLight backpacker system is much smaller, and this has been with me now for a couple of trips, and I found it to be fantastic. Very similar principle, except it doesn't come with that large belt system, and I mostly use it attached to a backpack strap, but you've got the nice metal funnel. Camera sits in there very easily. It's also easy to pop the metal part off and throw it on a belt if you wanted to do that, working with lighter cameras again. Or as I said, it works on backpack straps. It also comes with a GoPro attachment so that you can click in a GoPro and film from kind of a chest harness or strap system that you're already using. And an improvement to the base plate over the original Spider system is, again, an Arca Swiss style tripod plate that has the little catch built into it. So it all really works within what I'm already using, and since I'm often wearing my backpack when traveling, I found this the easiest way to keep my gear easily accessible but go hands-free when I need to teach or to do something else. Let's move beyond the straps and the clip devices and talk about different camera bags. Again, we're gonna walk through kind of the progression of what I've used over the years. And I've got some brands here, but really beyond the brands, I just wanna talk about the pros and cons of different styles, like a messenger style bag. One of the things that I love about a messenger style bag is how easily accessible your gear is. It's almost as accessible as if it was on a strap, but you've got this nice added protection from elements, from thieves' eyes. They don't know necessarily if you got camera gear in a bag, especially something like this Retrospective 10. It works out really well. However, this I have found to be pretty uncomfortable pretty quickly, especially if, as I do sometimes, loaded up with too much gear. So I've got some lighter bags and some nicer balances that we're gonna look at. So a sling style bag I found to distribute the weight a little bit nicer across the shoulder and back, but the downside is your gear isn't quite as accessible and you have to do that kind of swing around bit. But it is still quite accessible, certainly more than a backpack. And the way that, especially these think tank TurnStyle sit right in front of you, it's just very easy to get your gear in and out. And it makes a nice platform for changing lenses as well. I do really like this, but again, remember, if you load it up heavy, I found that it can be just as uncomfortable as a standard messenger style bag. Now, by far the most comfortable way I've found to carry gear for any length of time is a backpack. Now, downsides though, of course, is your gear is not easily accessible. I've talked a lot about this bag. This is the MindShift Gears BackLight 26L, and it's got this neat trick that you can wear the waist belt and still access the gear through the back. That makes it very easy to get your gear out, especially in environments where you don't want to put your bag down or you don't want to slow down. As quick as that access was, there are times where I want my gear to be even more immediately accessible, and that's why I've added these pieces of gear. I've already talked about the little SpiderLight system. I've been wearing that right here on my backpack strap, and it has been fantastic, providing easy and immediate access to my gear. But there are times when you want your gear to be more protected or carry a little bit more, and that's where I've added the multi-mount holster system. I love this because it integrates into my existing camera straps. Now, the poor man's version of using this bag is what I've been doing for years, and that is wearing a backpack and having a messenger style bag draped around me at the same time. But I feel like I'm constantly tangled in a web of straps. This, because it uses my existing straps, is just that less strappy. It actually has several ways it can mount to your existing straps, or you can carry it around on your own with the included neck strap, or there's a belt loop that you can put it on your belt if you'd like to do that as well. This is the larger size that they provide. You can go from a small mirrorless that will fit in here to a full DSLR with 70 to 200 lens. And that's a look at a variety of ways to carry your camera. If you'd like to see a complete list of everything I covered with links to purchase, that's right down below in the description. And of course, your use of those links helps support what we do here at this channel. I'd love to know your favorite way to carry your camera. You can leave that in the comments. Are there any varieties of bags that I didn't cover? You can leave those in the comments as well. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Bye-bye.